The Bola is by far one of the strongest non-lethal items in the entire game, and can be very good at helping you win a lethal situation. Bolas can be found by default in non-lethal throwable crates as well as in sec tech, so that means security can get these for free on round start. However, it is very easy for anyone else to get a hold of one. To craft a Bola, you need cuffs and steel. If you do not know what cuffs are, that refers to makeshift handcuffs, and you can easily just find a stack of low voltage cables, and you can use this to make the cuffs. This takes a few seconds, so don't expect to craft a Bola on the fly. Then all you need at this point is 6 pieces of steel, and getting 6 steel is really easy. You can dismantle a locker, maintenance, a few chairs, you name it, as steel is very abundant. And crafting the Bola itself is actually a faster process than the cuffs, and once you've done that, you'll be a proud owner of a Bola. Now, the Bola has no use at all unless you press Control Q by default to throw it. I highly recommend you rebind this. To ensnare somebody with the Bola, you simply just throw it at them. A very quick demonstration of how throwing a Bola works is it will fly slightly past the tile you are throwing it at. So if I click on this tile, or throw it at right in the center of this tile, it will fly a full tile right past my cursor. So as demonstrated just a few seconds ago, the most ideal thing you could do is just try to throw the Bola past the enemy. Throwing it in front may end up hitting them, but there's no reason not to throw it past them, because if it goes through their hitbox, it will ensnare that person. So I'll just aim it right past them, and we'll see that it attached to their leg, and indeed, their current movement speed is cut in half, even if they're not moving. Now, at this point, they could remove this snare themselves, or you can walk up to them, press E, and click Remove Leg Restraints. Once you remove the Bola, by the way, it will go in your hand. So you actually could, as this person, take the Bola off and throw it back at them. In order to remove the Bola in yourself, you actually need to click the Ensnared button on the side of your screen. And it is faster for somebody to take it off of you, but it's only like a second and a half faster, I believe. But then the Bola will actually go back in your hand if you're the one who removed it, and you can just chalk it back at them, just like so. As demonstrated, you will move at half movement speed. This is how slow you are if you have default movement speed. If you had any form of armor that slows you down, you basically slow to a crawl. So throwing it at nukies, for example, who have a duffel bag on and normal blood red armor on, they will become even slower than this. Like, for example, I'll just put that on. This is about how fast we're moving without all that stuff on. Now, if we have a blood red and a duffel bag, you can very, very much hinder one nuclear operative. They are very, very slow like this. This makes it much easier to stun baton them, shoot them, and if they want to crawl, they are even slower than normal. It's a very, very powerful tool. I probably don't need to explain why the snare or the bolas are good against even unarmored targets. Because, well, I mean, you can infer that. It's not complicated, it's not rocket science, it's just movement speed. For example, as well, if I were to inject myself with something like ephedrine, which is a movement speed combat enhancing drug, normally you would be moving quite a lot faster than a normal person, but with the Bola on, say you're security and you're running up against a meth head, they will still be moving significantly slower than you, even if they are on a speed enhancing drug. Bolas let you equalize the playing field against people who would otherwise be unstoppable. And considering these movement speed enhancing drugs normally make you unstunnable, making you really slow makes you a lot easier to put down with bullets. So that's really it about the Bola itself. I didn't mention that if you throw it enough times, it will break. I believe the magic number is 3. If it keeps hitting people, though, I believe it doesn't lose durability. But either way, they're so cheap that getting more is not too difficult. However, Bolas have a limitation. You can only throw a Bola about roughly 8 tiles. So if I stand up against a wall and throw it as far as I can, it makes it right past 8 tiles, and no, there's no way to throw it further. And at this point, if somebody's running away from you and you throw it to say like this, if they're like at the 7 or 8 tiles away, you're likely going to miss, especially if they like turn or something. And obviously throwing it at that far away, it starts to lose momentum. And somebody who's noticing you doing that can just sidestep it. So trying to use a Bola beyond like 3 tiles normally, 4 tiles, you can definitely miss, or the person might have the ability to somewhat dodge it. You can really change this with an improvised pneumatic cannon. I'm not going to explain how to make that. It's in the crafting menu. You could go from there. The pneumatic cannon actually can be fired with one hand, and it can only fit one Bola. But even on medium power, it will not only shoot at a significantly faster speed, it will also go further. So if I aim at the edge of my screen, we can see that it can go well past 8 tiles up to 11. And this is definitely a more of a meme, but if you set the pneumatic cannon to maximum power with a wrench and shoot a bullet in it, it will CC you, knock you down, because that's what maximum power does. But just look at the speed this flies, and we'll see how far it actually flies across the room. So I'll just shoot it at the edge of my screen and just just watch. Like, was that on screen for like 2 frames? I think I actually broke the Bola. Yeah, the Bola broke, but yeah, it would clear the entire room. At that point, you'd be shooting people quite literally really far off screen, but it could be funny if you're like, just say like you're a passenger in a nuke fight, and you really want to hit a nuke with a Bola. Well, the benefit is it actually forces you on the ground. So you could just like run up to a nukie and like point blank them with it, and then they'd have to aim accurately at you and it lets people shoot over you, and you could just stay down on the ground if you wanted. For example, like if you CC yourself this way, you could just press C, and I think, yeah, you'll just stay on the ground if you press C while the bar comes back up. So you could just slinky crawl away or like grab your cannon and do it again. If you actually just shoot the cannon while you're on the ground, it still stuns you, but you stay on the ground and you don't drop it due to that. So it's up to you. I think that's really memey and really funny. And I don't know if I've ever in my life seen anyone put the pneumatic cannon on maximum pressure, but maybe you'll learn 2 things from this video, or maybe at the very least you probably didn't know the pneumatic cannon could be set to high pressure if you already knew how Bolas worked. Thank you for watching.